Hello friends, welcome back in this video. In this video, we will discuss the flat top sampling. In the last video, we discussed about the instantaneous sampling and the natural sampling process. As we discussed in the natural sampling that amplitude is linearly varies. So there is a chances of the noise interference. So we discussed that instead of linearly top, we goes to the flat top and that is done by the flat top sampling. The basic circuit diagram of the flat top sampling is shown in the figure in which we use the two MOSFET G1 and G2 that will work as a switch, and across the G2 there is a capacitor that is used to hold the value, and output voltage is taken as the capacitor voltage, and we apply input across the switch G1. At one time our one switch is on at a time. When we want to take the sample of the input signal, we turn on the G1 and G2 will be turned off. As instantaneously we recorded the sample instant, immediately we turn off the G1 and G2 will be turned on to hold this value for the some instant by charging the capacitor. When capacitor fully charged with G2, we switch off the G2. And again when we want to take the sample of the input, then again G1 will be on and G2 will be off at this time, and instantaneously we take the sample, G1 will be off and G2 will be on to hold the value for the some instant. And in this way we are performing the sample and hold performance, and this hold value will be taken as the output because capacitor voltage is as our output signal. To take the sample value of our input signal, we are switching on the G1 for a very short interval of time. So it will like we are providing the electric shock to the G1. So if we see the diagram of the G1, that it will like we are providing the impulse train to the G1. And for G2, we are switching on the G2 for the some period of time. So it will like we are providing the rectangular pulse train to the G2. As we discussed earlier, instantaneous sampling and the natural sampling. In the instantaneous sampling, we provide impulse train as the carrier, and in the natural sampling we provide rectangular pulse train as the carrier. So if we see the flat top sampling, in this we are providing both impulse train and the rectangular pulse train. So the flat top sampling is the combination of both the natural sampling and the instantaneous sampling. From this discussion, we can conclude in the flat top sampling, we simply perform the instantaneous sampling at the first stage. So x of t, our input signal, is passed through the sampler and we provide as x of n ts. So in this manner, we simply perform the instantaneous sampling. Then the output of the sampling is passed through the sample and hold circuit or the pulse stretcher, that it will stretch the pulses by the some amount, and we got as our output, that is the output of the flat top sampling. The transfer function of the sample and hold circuit will be a rectangular pulse from 0 to t with the magnitude of 1, and at the instant t equal to 0 and t equal to t, its value will be half by the Gibbs phenomena. In the Gibbs phenomena, we take the average at that instant. So we take the average of 0 and 1, it will be half. If you want to see the Gibbs phenomena in detail, I already discussed it in the unit step function. The link of that video will be attached in the description box. You can see the video for the better understanding of the Gibbs phenomena. And all the remaining time instant, its value is 0. In the instantaneous sampling, we are multiplying our x of t with the impulse train. So we have a simple message signal at where impulses are present, as shown in the third figure. And in the flat top sampling, this sample signal will be stretched by the some amount. The resultant wave is shown in the figure D as y of t. If we try to understand this by the block diagram, so we are simply convolving the h of t with the sampler output x of and ts. Y of t is the convolution of h of t with x and ts. From the basic subject signal and system, convolution will be like integration from minus infinity to infinity x tau h t minus tau d tau. And we discuss in the instantaneous sampling that x and ts is a summation n is vary from minus infinity to infinity x of t del t minus n ts. So we put this equation into y of t, that will integration from minus infinity to infinity summation n from minus infinity to infinity x and ts del t minus n ts h t minus tau d tau. In del t minus n ts, we have a simple impulse at t equal to n ts. When it multiply with h t minus tau from the basics of signal and system, it will be simple h t minus n ts. So the resultant y of t is as a summation n is vary from minus infinity to infinity x and ts h t minus n ts, because it is the equation of convolution in the time domain, so it will be simple multiplication in the frequency domain, and it is given as y of f is equal to x of f h of f. And already we discussed in the instantaneous sampling that the sampler output x of f is fs multiply with summation n is vary from minus infinity to plus infinity x f minus n fs. So y of f is fs summation n is vary from minus infinity to infinity x f minus n fs h of f. So simply we are multiplying sampler output with the our transfer function h of f. If we see in the time domain, our transfer function is simply a rectangular pulse. So what will be it in the frequency domain? As we know from the basics of signal and system, rectangular pulse in the time domain is the same pulse in the frequency domain. So its width is t and the amplitude is 1. So in the frequency domain, t multiplied by 1 is t sync ft. T is the width of this rectangular pulse. So it will be t sync ft. In the time domain, it is shifted by the t by 2 amount to get our transfer function of the sample and hold circuit. So the resultant in the frequency domain, it will be a multiply by the eigen function, that is e to the power minus ka j 2 pi f t by 2. So the resultant frequency domain transfer function of our sample and hold circuit will be t sync ft e to the power minus ka j t pi f. If we draw the magnitude spectrum of this sync function, that will like this diagram. So in the diagram, it is clear that at high frequency our amplitude is attenuating. So this sample and hold circuit will behave as a low pass filter, because at high frequency our amplitude is simply attenuating, because sampler output is multiplied with this sample and hold circuit. So the output of the flat top sampling is also attenuated at the high frequency, and this distortion is called as the aperture effect. So there is also the distortion in the flat top sampling. Bandwidth of the flat top sampling is greater than 1 by 2t. If we see that for the one pulse to be on, time period is given by t, and ts is the time period for the rectangular cycle. As we know that the time period is reciprocal to the frequency, and we change the frequency into omega, then t will be less than 1 by 2 omega. So we got omega as the greater than 1 by 2t, and figure of merit is less than 1.